We have until 11:50. So,
No, they just
45
changed
minutes.
it. They updated the schedule. We
Okay,
have lunch right after this.
let's talk about slope.
11:50.
11:50. Okay, we need to start. How do you find the slope of a graph when it gives you the graph? What do you do? Yeah. Rise over run. So it's up how many? Where's my annotate? So the rise is 2 and the run is? So your slope is? Okay. What about if you're given this? How do you find your slope? Say that louder, Chloe.
Y equals mx plus b.
This is y equals mx plus b. Which variable is your slope? M. So your m equals -3.
Keep almost answering.
Huh?
We keep almost answering.
Huh?
I keep almost answering.
Oh, yeah. Don't. Just kidding. Okay. What about this? How do you find the slope from 2 coordinate points?
Subtract it.
Okay. What do I subtract?
The x's and then you subtract the y's.
Is that right?
No, it's like the change in x and the change in y. So it'd be -7, right?
Yeah.
The way that I remember doing it is setting up like the X, Y, T chart thing, and then doing like the X's on one side, the Y's on one side, and then like calculating the difference between each of the numbers.
Like
and
that?
then you calculate the difference between each of them, and then it's just X over Y.
Okay. We're missing something. Should it be this? Yeah.
Because it's going down. Or it's going in reverse.
Well, it technically says they're both going down, they're both negative, but doesn't the left side go under the right side because the left side's left to right and it's not rise, it's run?
Yeah. Exactly. It should be the 4 over the 7. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Yes. It's the rise over the run. So your y's go on top. So this was right. It just should be 7 minus 3 over 3 minus -4. And then all that you were saying is correct. These need to be together, the 3 and the -4, and the 7 and the 3 need to be together. All of those things, everything you were saying was right. We just needed to flip it.
That's the answer.
4 7ths is your slope. Does that make sense now? The formula, so you could do your T-chart thing, or it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Doesn't really matter the order that you put them in, except that as long as you keep them together, like the 2's are together, the coordinate pair needs to be on top of each other, right? So this is your formula. One second. What about this one? How would we find the slope of that interval? Yeah.
I just wanted to point out that it would be -4 seconds because y2 is 3 and y1 is 7, so it would be negative.
If you were to do that the other way, you'd have -4 minus 3, 3 minus 7, and it'd be -7 over -4. Oh, it should be flipped. Sorry. It's a +3 and a +7. Is that what you're saying? No. Guys.
It's because both the x's and the y's are increasing, for instance. So you're assuming that the left one is to the left and the right one is to the right, and that's not the case.
Yeah. So when you put this,
Case.
snap. They're both negative. It should still not be a 7 over the 4. What am I doing?
You're putting the y on the bottom and the x on the top.
Guys. Okay. -4 is the x. Okay. Thank you. 3, negative 4, 7, 3. So it's negative 4 over negative 7, so then it becomes a positive 4 over 7.
Negative over negative, basically.
Yeah, okay. That was number 3. Now looking at number 4, how would we solve over that interval? I want 2 thoughts from this. There's 2 thoughts that we could have. Okay, really quick, guys. Someone raise your hand. I know somebody has a thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
It took me a second, I remember now. Basically, you're supposed to graph the line that the 2x minus 7 makes, and then the 3 to 10 is the 3 to 10 is the domain, I'm pretty sure. And then you're supposed to find the slope over that domain.
Yep. Okay. So that's one of the ways you could graph it and then find the slope from 3 to 10. That's the domain. Those are your 2 x values. How would you find your y values if you have your x values? Yeah.
Or you could just say it's 2.
Or you could just say it's 2. Why?
MX plus B.
Y equals mx plus b. Is it going to matter what your x values are? No. When you have a linear equation, no matter where you are on your line, your slope is going to be the same. Okay? However, it's really important to know how to do it the other way because not all equations are linear. If this was the 2x squared, it would look like this. And from 3 to 10, I don't know what it would actually be. It would, if you had a straight line between that, it's different, right? From here to here and from here to here. Do you notice how those lines are different? Slopes are different. So it matters what your domain is for everything else except for a linear equation. This is linear. It's always going to be the same slope, so it's just 2. So let's talk about if it changes, okay? 2. Because it's y equals mx plus b. M is your slope. The 2 is your slope. And my ponytail just broke. No, I'll just...
Yeah, she dyed her
I
hair.
did.
Notice it. Black.
Yes, it's black. Yeah.
Emo?
No.
That's what black hair means.
Teacher got emo.
Yes, black hair means emo. No, it means I like black hair.
She just likes black, okay, you guys?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's move on. This is a graph of how price has changed for milk over the years from 2000 to 2022.
Got milk.
Apparently you got a lot of
A lot of milk.
The graph goes up when dad comes back.
What?
That's the point. He doesn't come back.
Oh.
I have no idea what's going on, so we're going to move on. How does the price of... What? I almost said price of gas. Price of a gallon of milk changed over this time period. What does it look like? Is it a straight line? No, it goes up and down. Okay. Tell me a time interval that it was decreasing. Did you bleach your hair?
What?
Did you bleach your hair?
No, I bleached it a while ago and I just colored it back to brown.
Cool.
So it's-
Okay, what was the time interval that it was decreasing? Someone tell me. 2008 to 2010. It's sharp.
Sorry, I like this as well. Yes.
Why do you think that happened from 2008 to 2010?
housing crisis.
It was not COVID. It's 12 years before that. The stock crash. I think the housing market crashed. Yeah, everything crashed at that time. Who was the president? Just kidding.
Obama was elected that year.
Was it Obama?
So part of it was Bush. Part of it was Obama.
Had
Well,
actually
Obama
nothing
was-
to do with the president.
And technically, Obama was instated in 2009.
Okay, so
So,
things could happen like market crash. In the other class, they're like there's an influx of cows, maybe.
That's what I said.
We all noticed that in 2020, it was going up from 2018, but it was still a lot lower than it was today, right? The price of milk has in fact increased a lot in the last 2 years. I would know. In May of 2018, the average price of milk was $2.92. In May of 2022, the average price of milk was $4.02. How much did the price of milk increase over this time period?
$1.10.
$1.10. How did you find that out?
Took 402 minus 292.
Okay, how many months are in this time period? It was 4 years. How many months are in? Yeah, okay. So if we do 2022 minus 2018, gave us 4 years, which is 48 months. Times 12. That's how we got that. Did the price increase by the same amount each month? Looking at the graph, did it increase the same amount each month? No. No, because what does the graph look like? Use your hands. Show me.
Looks like my emotional state.
It looks like, yes. At least it's going up?
It seems more like here from 2008 to 2010, but yeah, sure. We can be hopeful
Let's be hopeful.
eventually.
No. It. Oh my gosh.
My heart rate when I'm showing them a picture and they take the phone.
Hey, you guys are understanding that life can be related to math. This looks like my EKG. All right, on average, how much did the price of milk increase each month? How would we find that out? That sounds like a lot of work. We already added all of it. We already figured out how many months there are and how much increased total. So now we need to do something else. What's the second part? Add it all and then divide it. So we already added it all. We already figured out what that difference was. How to get from 292 to 402 was 110.
Divided by 48.
Yes. You have $1.10 in 48 months. How much was that increase each month?
Around 2 cents.
About 2 cents, 2.02?
Yep, 0.2.
About 2 cents. Every month you went up 2 cents. If it was a straight line, it wasn't a straight line, but if it was a straight line from 0 to $1.10, 48 times would be 0.02. Yeah, makes sense? What would that look like?
A straight line.
Yeah, if we start at 2018, we go to 2022. Hey guys. Shh. Here's 2022, $1.10, right? This is what it would look like. Oh my gosh. I can draw straight lines.
I can't, you're good.
Beep. With a rise over run of 0.02. over 1 month. Okay? We good? This is what the graph would look like if it was a linear graph, constant rate. So I kind of already told you what's the slope of this line. 0.02 over 1.
Oh, I'm so smart.
Because your slope is your rise over run, right?
I mean, you're right, but wrong.
Yeah.
Dividing by 1 just gives you itself. Do I have any questions so far? This is all building to the purpose of the lesson,
Yeah, can
but
we restart?
no.
No,
From the
literally.
beginning?
I haven't comprehended anything.
Okay, do you know how to find the slope, rise, or run?
Yeah.
You answered the rise over run, so I know you know that. Okay, all we've been doing is finding the slope, rise over run. Okay, every question was, hey, what's the slope? Or what does this graph look like? Even though it's like this, how would you get from here to here with the slope? Okay, let's talk about this. Why does it matter? Why do we care what this slope would look like, or what the average rate of going up? If there was something else,
Market.
stock markets, right?
Oh, I didn't even think that related.
It totally related.
Yeah, sales.
Sales, yeah, because people who sell milk want to know, are they making more money? Sure.
Oh, mine would be flat.
Yes. Yeah.
It's also important to the consumers.
Yeah, it's important to the consumers to say, hey, milk has gone up 2 cents a month in the last 4 years. It's a lot. I had a thought. The stock markets. The reason why the stock markets matter with the average rate of change is it goes up and down, up and down. But if you figure out that your average rate of change is a positive number, you'd want to put money into that stock, right? Good. Alrighty. Let's do a couple of these together. Let's do one of these together. But I want to decide which one to do. Homework problems? Like
That
last night's
sounds
homework problems?
great.
Do we know that this is a 45-minute class?
No, this class
Oh,
was
yeah,
wrong.
no, we
For
have
this
assembly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no extra time.
What was it? It's time.
Maybe if we have time, maybe. We're going through this really fast if you guys understand slope. Because now we're going to talk about the average rate of change. Guess what the average rate of change is? Hey, Daniel,
The slope.
put the phone away. The slope! Because I don't know if you understand the importance of, we have a short class, and so everyone needs to be paying attention so we can move on. Okay? Average rate of change is slope over a specific time period. So what we just did with finding the slope of the milk, the price of milk between those 2 points, that was the average rate of change from May 2018 to May 2022. That's simple, right? That is this entire math lesson. So we can be confident that we're going to understand it, yeah? Kinda? If you can figure out how to subtract y values and divide it by subtracting x values, then you mastered the lesson. This is the actual formula for it, so don't freak out. Can someone tell me what f of b means?
Why?
It's the y value when you plug in b. So this is your x value of b. Can we see how this relates to that formula?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the point B, B f of B, and you subtract it from point A f of A. This is your first point, second point. So you're always going to take your second point and then subtract the first point. Okay? Start with the second point, then subtract the first point. You good? So let's,
The first point and subtract the last point.
no, flip it. Start with the second point, subtract the first point. You could do that, but then you're going to have to divide negatives or positives. Just make sure your sign is correct.
Divide positives. Positive divide
Hey,
positives.
that is distracting from the lesson. What is the average rate of change from A to B? What would we do to find that?
36.
36? Nope.
That's just 3, right?
Why?
Because 3 to 6
2.
is 3.
It's 2.
Wait,
Why?
I'm lost.
Because 6 over 3.
Okay, the rise, guys, the rise 3 to 9 was 6.
Okay.
Okay. The run 3 to 6 was 3. So we got 2 by saying your rise over your run equals 2. What about from B to C? From 9 to 11.2, how much did that go up? 2.2. And then from 6 to 9, how much does that go over? 3. It was not 1. 2.2 over 3. We're just going to leave it like that. And then A to C, that total, right, from 3 to 11.2, how much does that go up? 8.2. And over how many? 6. Which one of these is the biggest?
A to B. A to B.
A to B. I agree. 2 is bigger than 8.2 divided by 6, and it is bigger than 2.2 divided by 3. Okay, so the point of this is...
You can also see on the graph that it helps.
Yes, keep going.
I'm good.
No, I'm so good.
What? You can say it.
I don't want to say it. I want someone to say it.
That's
Can you see how this, like, why it is bigger? What does it mean by the slope being bigger?
More vertical.
It's closer to being vertical. It's straighter. It's steeper, right? Huh? From A to B, that slope was 2. B to C, the slope was 2.2 over 3, so a little less than 1. And then from here to here,
There's rise and run.
8.2 is a little more than 1. Rise over 1. This is all average rate of change. This is nothing new. Like, this is just slope. But what's new is that the graph isn't a straight line, right? The graph went like this. So the average rate of change changed on time periods, right? From A to B, it was different than from B to C. It was steeper. So that's important to know. Like, I could tell, okay, so if you're looking at a stock market, right, and all you looked at was from 2007 to 2009, or 2008, or whenever that was, it would have been negative, right? We talked about there was a crash in 2008. There's a crash. The stock market slope would have looked like, let's see, this. But if you were to look at the same stock market that went way up in 2022 or whatever it is, and you looked over a total of 2005 to 2022, and it went way up, you see that there's a difference looking at these different time periods. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Okay. So this matters, right? Good.
So just put A, B.
Huh?
I'm gonna get into stocks when I grow up.
Good.
So much money.
I don't trust them.
Yeah, like all those people who invested in like 2019, right before the stock completely crashed over COVID.
Yeah.
Trust that, so that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, are you guys working on homework?
Yeah, we already finished.
That's rude. Can you put it away?
This is so messed up.
Guys, shh.
Please, come on.
So you already solved this one?
Yeah.
All right, come teach me.
You do the.
No, come up here. Teach it.
Yeah,
No,
you
come
guys
with me.
did.
We're both doing it.
Guys.
Respect.
Do you want me to write on that? Or?
Yeah, teach it. Teach us in class.
So you got to do the equation we learned last time, which is the
Let me write that in actually.
dollars is equal to P, which is the principal, times the 1 plus the rate as a decimal over the number of times compounded per year, and then you close parentheses, and then M times T.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so that's
So if we take this 5
Wait,
and
they're the teachers, so if you have a question, raise your hand and ask them.
okay, if
Can
we
you say that a little better?
that's just like that's just the equation.
yeah. We learned
Yeah.
this last time.
So
That's all we're
500
doing.
goes in for P, so it's gonna be 500, and then
Times the
1 plus, and this is the decimal 4%. So we're gonna do 0.04. How do I erase on this? I'm gonna erase this. Do you guys? Okay, 0.04 divided by 4.
Because it
'Cause
says
it-
it's compounded quarterly, which is 4.
Yep, quarterly. So that's where we get the 4, and then it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over 5 years.
So you got the 4 times 5.
Yep. Because it's compoundedly quarterly over 5 years, and if you plug that into your calculator, you're gonna get the answer.
Which
So,
is the,
can someone plug that in?
it's just not right.
Yeah. Sorry if you can't read my
That's
handwriting.
an arrow to the P, and then that was just a.
This is a parentheses.
the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
equation.
Wait, there's no parentheses right there actually. Yeah, erase this one too. The parentheses are on the front. Yep. All right.
Erase the parentheses by the formula.
1 sec.
So what did you get?
1095.56.
Okay. So you got.
Which one is
Did you
it?
get 295, which is it?
So
Nah, we got.
no. Wait, that actually works, right?
610.
Yeah, that's what I got when I did it.
Oh, I forgot.
I've been some parentheses.
Okay, so we got 610 point what? 0.09. Okay, guys.
And
So
then-
now we're finding the rate of change. So we need to minus the 500 from
The,
this
the
Why are
initial.
you minusing 500?
because we're
that's
that's
the
the
initial.
initial the initial value, and we're finding rate of change.
Alright, so you go minus
Minus
500.
500, which is like 110.04
Yeah, 110.09.
or something.
0.09.
0.09.
And then you divide that by 5
Why are we dividing by 5?
Because there's 5 years.
because it's 5 years. And then you get the 22.02, and that's your rate of change per year. And then you do the same thing for the second one.
So if you can't see my handwriting.
I'll write the second one.
22.02. Does everyone kind of understand that? Any questions?
Wait, why'd you subtract that?
Oh, because we're starting at 500. We're not starting at 0.
So the first 5 years, we started.
We start at 500. We don't start at 0.
year 0. We had $500.
Yeah. You doing the next one?
Well, I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna have you guys
Well,
teach more often.
Don't you won't you have them? We gotta show them the process, bro. You can't just give them the answer.
Well, we already showed them the process.
They're teaching themselves. So do I. Every time.
Okay, I'm gonna explain after you're done.
You know you're being recorded for YouTube.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
Even monetize, but not for yourselves.
Yeah. Okay, so like on this one, this is gonna be a little bit confusing, but we're not starting with 500 this time because we're starting from year 5, which was where we got the 610.995. So instead of using 500 right there, we're gonna use this number right here, and then it's by the same rate. So we plug it in again, and we get this number, right? And now it's asking us to find the rate of change from year 5 to year 10 instead of year 0. So we're gonna start at year 5's value, which was 610. So we minus 610 from this new value, which is year 10, and that's where we get this rate of change, where we divide by 5 because it's over a 5-year period, and that's where we get the answer. Does that kind of make sense? No? Okay.
Cool. Thank
Can we do homework now?
That was so fun.
Will you subtract the 744 from the 610?
Yeah, from the 610, because 610 is the year 5 value, because we're starting at year 5 now. If that makes any sense.
So remember, we take the second value and subtract it from the first value, right? So our first value was 610. That was year 5.
the same thing as last time, just subtracting the initial value. Is that,
Yeah, kinda.
Initial value and then dividing by how many years.
yeah, is that kind of the gist?
Yeah, the gist of this problem right
What we
here
did last time,
was what we did last time.
but subtract the initial value and divide by.
So it's what we did last time, but plugging in the years and solving and then subtracting. Yeah,
Isn't that what we did last time?
I think so.
They, like, the last four problems is just plugging in the number
Yeah.
of compounds.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
110 on the first one. They divide that or something?
no, the 100 and yeah. So the 110 was the difference in the y values. So they divided it by the 5, the year 5. So I'm going to take this and rewrite it smaller. I'm going to zoom in. This 610 minus 500, 610.09 minus 500 was your f of b minus f of a. And this was your 5 is your b, and your 1, your 0 was 0. So they took that 110.10, right? What was it?
110.0.
Yep. Divided by 5. This was the average rate of change whenever they found that, which was 22.02. That was the average rate of change. On the homework, I have it as ARC. ARC. These are money. You want to always round to the nearest cent, so 2 decimal places. Make sure you're rounding correctly. Make sure you have a money symbol. And do ARC. Yeah, let's look at what the rest of this is. Okay, so for that specific problem is what we did last time in using the average rate of change. For everything else, though, you need to be able to understand what we did here. Okay? We need to be able to understand from the intervals -3 to 3, so that's -3 to 3, what were your y values from here to here? So -3, 8. 3, 2. Does that make sense? And then find that change between those 2 points. Okay? So when it has a bracket, these are 2 x values that you need to plug back in or go find the y value.
What?
This is -3, and I went up till I got to the point, and I found its y value, which was 8. Yeah. This was 3. I went up till I found the point where it crosses, and its y value was 2. So you take the second value, 2, and then it's y's over x's. So 2 minus 8, 3 minus -3. You're always subtracting, so if it's a negative minus a negative will give you a positive, right? Or a plus. 2 minus 8 is -6. 3 minus -3 is a positive 6 because it's plus. So the slope was -1. If you drew a line from these 2 points, you could see that slope was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. -1. 6. That's a 6. -6 over 6, which equals -1. Did I erase that? -1. We have 1 more minute for a final question. Does anyone need extra help on this? Okay. Right? It's a minute. Just kidding. 11:50. We have 10 more minutes. Yes. We can work on